In this movie, we'll learn how to add to our verb array and our nouns array at runtime, and then how to grab a random index of the array and then put it inside of a text field. If you're following along, I'm in text_game in the A-8 folder that's inside of the Chapter 8 folder. We're just continuing on from the last movie. So let's go to our Actions keyframe of the Actions layer and open up the Actions panel by pressing Option F9 or F9 on the PC. First, let's grab a random index of the array. I'm going inside of the event handler and I'm looking at verbs index 0. That's the 0 inside of the close square brackets. Mine is on line 10. Yours could possibly be on a different line. And I'm going to turn on word wrap by clicking in the top right of my Actions panel. There is an arrow with 3 lines next to it. Click on that button, then select word wrap. Now this is a little easier to see. So select verbs, index 0 on line 10, and let's select the 0, and then we'll use some math to generate a random index of this array. Now if you didn't watch the math movie, then what we're going to do is use the math class to generate a random index of this array. So you can watch that movie if you'd like to learn more about that, but I'll explain it briefly as we do it right now. Type the word math with a capital M, and then type .floor. What this is going to do is round the number down. Type an open parenthesis, and then type math.random, open and close parenthesis, then a space, asterisk, and a space. And then we're going to type a number to grab a random number from. So I'm going to type verbs.length. As we talked about in the last movie, the length property of an array object will give us the number of items inside of the array. There are 2 items in each array. So because we're using math.floor, we'll round down this number. So the verbs.length equals 2. Math.random times verbs.length will give us a random number between 0 but not including 2. And if we use math.floor, we'll round down, so we'll get a number between 0 or 1. So we'll either get 0 or 1. But if I use verbs.length instead of 2, if we add to the array later on, which we will, then it doesn't matter. We won't have to change any of the code. So we have that in there. Let's select inside of those square brackets, so all the math code we just wrote. So select there, and don't select the square brackets, just select math.floor, ending with length. Press Command or Control C on your keyboard to copy it. Then let's paste the code where the numbers are in nouns, open square bracket 0, and then close square bracket. So we'll just replace those zeros with the code we just copied by pressing Command or Control V. Did it for the first one, selecting the second 0, pasting the code, selecting the third 0 now, and pasting the code. Now we'll need to substitute nouns for verbs in the 3 times that we use the nouns. So here's the first time nouns appears. We need to change this word to nouns. Select the second time we say verbs.length, change it to nouns. Change the next verbs.length to nouns.length. And change the third verbs.length to nouns.length. So all this code will give us a random number or a random index of our array. Test the movie. And we're running into an error. Let's take a look at it. Expecting right paren before right bracket. And that's because when we use math.floor, we used an open parenthesis and we never closed it out. So right after verbs.length, nouns.length, and then nouns.length again, and nouns.length the third time, we need to have close parentheses. So I'm going to add those in right now. Now let's test the movie. Type in your name, click Generate, and we're grabbing random indices of the arrays. Inside the text field, see tree, jumped, bear. Excellent. Now let's add to the array. Right after the open curly brace of the onClick event handler, press enter. Type verbs.push. And this will add a new index to our array at the very top of the array. So let's look at our verbs array at the top of the screen. We have jumped, that's going to be index 0, the first index. Then ran is the second index, or index 1. When we use push, it will create a new index at index 2, and then add on whatever we put inside of here. So type push, open parenthesis, and the value you want to push is whatever is in the verbs text field. So type verb_txt.text, and that's the name of our text field, the verb text field, verb_txt, and then we have noun_txt. Click back on your actions keyframe to go back to the actions panel. After .text on the line we're just writing on line 9, type a close parenthesis and a semicolon. Go to the next line, we'll do the same thing for nouns. Nouns.push, this will add an index at the top of the array, and type noun_txt.text, close parenthesis, and a semicolon. Now test the movie. Type in your name, type a past tense verb. I'm going to type flipped. Then type a noun, and for the noun, I'm going to type rock. Click the generate button. Todd flipped down the bear on his bear, hoping to escape the giant rock. So now we can see that the game is adding this text to our array and then grabbing a random index from the array and putting it inside of this text field. And congratulations, you just created a game. And so that is a look at how to use text and arrays, and how to use them together.